just got the green, bro.
People worship these idols till they come in contact with God.
Yeah, dude, I love movies, man. Movies are like the greatest thing in the world. It's like the ability to go somewhere else without leaving your couch. You know, it's like, it's experiencing something. Depending on how good the movie is experiencing something while just by watching. You know, so I'm a big movie watcher. I watch as many movies as possible. They're fun, exciting. Last movie I watched was in the hotel. I watched The Guilt Trip, that movie with Barbra Streisand and Seth Rogen that just came out. Very touching movie about a relationship between a mother and son. I like fucked up, twisted drug movies. Like, for instance, like a Train Spotting, Kids, Basketball Diaries. That's a good one. And I like Wes Anderson movies. Awesome, like Moonrise Kingdom, The Royal Tenenbaums. You know, I like darker movies. It's kind of. I'm a crier too, man. If I watch a sad movie, I cry. Like, yeah, dude. Right there on the spot. I'll admit it. One of my favorite things is when a actor that's thought of as a comedian takes a serious role. You know, because I love that. You know, I love, like, everyone thinks Jim Carrey is this funny dude, which he is. But like, you see how well he does in a role that's serious, and it's dope. Like Will Ferrell, was great in Stranger Than Fiction, and also in Everything Must Go. Who else? Steve Carell in Seeking a Friend for the End of the World. So I love when comedians do serious roles. It's like one of my favorite things.
So my disciples, you get mind fucked with these broads. Life is just a recital. Better remember all that you practice. When I die, throw a couple bad bitches in my casket. Whoa, think it's time for a revolution. Me and my dogs about to start a riot. Still they sleeping, but I'm eating. You and your people are on a diet.
I'm not from the suburbs. I'm from like the city. Everyone just thinks because I'm white I gotta be from the suburbs. But no, I'm from the city of Pittsburgh. Actually, hip hop wise, Pittsburgh is not like known as a hometown for hip hop, but I've been really involved in the Dr. Dre era. Two people that helped shape that West Coast Dr. Dre sound, producers, was Sam Snead and Melman, who are two dudes from Pittsburgh who went out to the West Coast and worked out there. But now I think Pittsburgh is the scene has always been there. Like, people been rapping in Pittsburgh forever. The hip hop scene is a bunch of rappers. That's how I came up. So yeah, you wouldn't think it is, but if you went to Pittsburgh, you'd see. Like when Tyler came to Pittsburgh to perform, I drove him around, and he was like, "This is a grimy ass city, man. I didn't realize how grimy it is." RZA lived there for a little bit. I don't know if he was actually born there. He might have been, but he lived in the same neighborhood that my best friend actually is from, which is The Hill. Yeah.
I'm just trying to make better music, get this money, share the profits. Now this class getting led by students. Smoke this weed, get head while I do it. Started out under the ground, they didn't fuck with me, now they all coming around. Money, I'm hunting it down, planting the seeds, working it, watching it grow.
Drugs are not just in rap, man. Drugs are all over the place. Everyone does drugs. But there's a lot of music that's put, so you speak on it because it's real, it exists, and pretending it doesn't you're not saying anything. But yeah, man, I mean, you just dig deeper. It's not necessarily about, like in Macadelic, like everyone was like, oh, there's so much drugs, right? It's not necessarily about the drugs. It's about what the next level is. You know what I'm saying? That it's not the drugs. It's the emotion. But yeah, there's much more to talk about in the world than drugs and money, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't talk about drugs and money, because those are things that exist. It's like It's like if you talk about everything just because you're not trying, because you don't want to talk about drugs and money, then it's like you're not, you know, you got to talk about everything. You know, it's okay. So it's okay to talk about drugs. It's okay to talk about money. It's okay to talk about girls, because these are things that exist. You know, but it's just there has to be more. So in the album, there's a lot. There's everything. Endorsements, you know, they want like a really clean image, and they're trying to stop you from saying whatever you want to say. They want you to follow their, you know, but I don't really have many crazy endorsements. I did something with Mountain Dew, which was tight, but you know, I'm not, as an artist, you're not gonna not say something for any reason, you know. And like Kanye right now, you know, he's not, you know, he's doing all this stuff, freedom of speech and saying whatever you want. I think that's important, man. And however you want to take that, whatever you want to do with that freedom of speech is up to you. And you can't really judge Rick Ross for saying what he said, because you don't know why he said it. You know, you don't know what he meant when he said it. You're just taking it at face value, but there's more there. Like I said, you can talk about drugs and money, but there's just also more there as well. Yeah, man, independent is the way to go, for me at least. It depends what you're after. If you're after a whole bunch of money, then independent's gonna be harder. You can get money, like I have made money, but I'm saying you gotta have patience, and you gotta be after something. You gotta be after that freedom. That's gotta be your number one most important thing. So, freedom to do whatever I want is my most important thing in music. So, anything that takes that away, I'm not messing with it.